So, imagine falling deeply, inexplicably in love with someone's mind, right? Their wit, their bravery.
Yeah, their unwavering loyalty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only to realize you don't actually know their real name,
Yeah.
and you spent the last 3 hours actively trying to frame them for a 1920s murder.
It's just such a wild scenario.
It is. So welcome to today's Deep Dive. I'm your host, and our mission today is to unpack a really fascinating narrative structure that just completely upends the traditional romance playbook.
Oh, completely upends it.
Yeah. We are pulling directly from a recent excerpt out of the Duel of Fate 2026 Chinese drama spotlight, and we're zeroing in on this massive television hit called Love Between Lines.
Such a huge show right now.
Right. And we're going to explore how this show's unique premise attacks that, blurry boundary between fiction and reality. We'll be able to keep returning to one central mystery.
Which is, how exactly does fake fabricated trauma create genuine real-world intimacy?
Exactly, because it's a phenomenal text, right? It fundamentally challenges the standard social contract at how human beings connect.
Yeah, I mean, we usually lead with our most curated, acceptable selves. Like, we slowly, painstakingly let our guard down.
We curate everything.
Right. But this story forces its characters to do the exact opposite.
So, okay, let me set the stage for you listening. The core premise of Love Between Lines revolves around two specific characters, Zhao Ziyu and Hu Zhu.
And they don't meet in a normal way at all.
No, they don't meet at a coffee shop or like a boardroom. They first cross paths while deeply immersed in a complex murder mystery game.
Right.
Okay, let's unpack this because, think about the sheer mechanics of meeting someone inside a game space.
It's totally artificial.
It is. To me, this is exactly like forming an intense emotional tether with someone in, say, a virtual reality environment or an online role-playing forum.
Oh, or even just sitting around a physical table playing Dungeons & Dragons.
Yes, exactly. You only know their avatar. You only know, the character sheet they rolled up.
Because you are interacting with a completely fabricated architecture. The voice is likely disguised. The backstory is totally manufactured.
The motivations are fictional.
Entirely fictional.
But despite all of that artificiality, you find yourself falling for the mind behind the mask.
Yeah, you start noticing the incredibly clever sideways approach they take to solving a puzzle.
Right, or you catch their specific dry brand of humor when their character gets backed into a corner. You end up falling for the architecture of their brain before you even know, what they do for a living.
What's fascinating here is how the source material explicitly highlights the setting of these specific games.
Oh, the setting is crucial.
The text notes these are Republic of China-themed scenarios.
Yeah.
And that is not just a backdrop. That is a psychological pressure cooker.
Totally.
For those unfamiliar with why that specific historical era is such a staple for high-stakes Chinese dramas, it's because the period represents an era of deeply fractured governance.
Right. Existential threat.
Existential threat, rampant espionage. It was a time of warlords and foreign concessions. It inherently implies a world built on shifting loyalties, hidden agendas, and absolute paranoia.
It's the ultimate sandbox for betrayal. If you're playing a spy in that setting, your default mode is trusting absolutely no one.
Exactly. Which means the intimacy of choosing to trust one specific person in that environment is incredibly potent.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great point.
By assuming these fake identities and acting out these highly dramatic fictional plots, Zhao Ziyu and Hu Zhu are completely bypassing the boring, sanitized small talk of normal modern dating.
They skip right over what's your favorite color.
Right. And the text points out a paradox here. Because of the boldness these masks afford them, they both grow deeply curious about each other's real-life personas.
So the fiction acts as a catalyst for a genuine craving for reality.
Precisely.
But, keeping that intense psychological sparring inside the walls of the game, that would just give us a standard, fun mystery thriller.
Yeah, a solid cat and mouse dynamic.
Right. The text, however, reveals that these two worlds, the high-stakes simulation and their actual modern lives, are about to violently and beautifully collide.
The transition from the game board to the pavement.
Yes, because Zhao Ziyu and Hu Zhu don't just stay anonymous gaming buddies. The narrative forces them to meet in the real world.
And the source specifically describes this real-life meeting as happening, quote, as if destined by fate.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because I have to push back on that framing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it actually fate? We love the romantic trope of the universe pulling two souls together, But look at the mechanics of what they were just doing.
Okay, I see where you're going.
If you spend hours psychologically sparring with someone, predicting their moves, surviving fake life or death scenarios with them, isn't your brain already entirely primed to zero in on them?
Like the second you cross paths in reality.
Exactly. It feels less like mystical fate and more like inevitable psychological gravity.
Well, you're touching on psychological priming, yes. But I think the source material leans into the fate element because of the sheer mathematical improbability of the timing.
Okay, well,
They were psychologically primed, sure. But what are the odds they cross paths in a modern, sprawling metropolis of millions of people at the exact moment their in-game dynamic reaches a boiling point?
that's true. The timing is wild.
The text sets up a stark, deliberate contrast here. On one side, you have the highly structured, artificial rules of the murder mystery game.
Every character has a designed motive.
Right. Every clue is planted with purpose, the boundaries are locked, and then on the other side, you have the uncontrollable, unpredictable, utterly messy nature of real life.
Because real life absolutely refuses to hand you a neat little character booklet explaining your coworkers' hidden motives.
Well, unfortunately.
And this contrast is why the transition is so psychologically jarring for them.
Oh, I bet.
Xiaoziyu and Huzhu now have to reconcile the bold, hyper-competent versions of themselves they played in the game with their everyday, mundane realities. The person who is like a brilliant, silver-tongued spy orchestrating a coup might just be a terribly anxious, quiet accountant struggling to pay rent in 2026.
Exactly.
That context collapse is severe. It reminds me of being a kid and seeing your teacher at the grocery store for the first time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Your brain just completely short circuits. You're standing by the produce aisle thinking, wait, you exist outside the classroom? You buy cereal.
It is the exact same cognitive dissonance. Now consider how often you, listening to this, meet someone in a very specific, highly structured context.
Right.
Maybe it's a high-pressure work project where you are both burning the midnight oil in a crisis, or a fan convention where you're embedded in a specific subculture.
You form a very fast, very deep bond based on those heightened parameters.
But then months later, you bump into them at a coffee shop on a random Tuesday. They're wearing sweatpants, ordering a latte, and suddenly you have to figure out who they actually are.
Without all the surrounding scaffolding of that intense environment. But, jumping between a person's sweaty, anxious reality and their hyper-competent 1920s spy persona presents a massive storytelling nightmare.
Oh, huge.
How do you actually put that on screen without giving the audience absolute whiplash?
Well, the source explains that from the moment they meet in real life, the story utilizes a dual narrative.
Right. One narrative tracks the fictional plot of the Republic of China game, while the other tracks their actual real-life encounters.
Which is a notoriously unforgiving structure to execute well.
Incredibly unforgiving.
Yeah.
As someone who watches a ton of media, dual narratives usually end up sacrificing the pacing of one timeline to serve the other.
Yeah, usually the real-world stuff suffers.
You end up with the audience just waiting for the boring real-life parts to end so they can get back to the spy thriller.
What does that say about the authentic faces we firmly believe we wear every single day?
Oh, wow.
Is your polite, everyday, professional persona you take to the office just another kind of Republic of China murder mystery character, complete with its own hidden motives and fabricated backstory? Are you playing a carefully constructed role right now without even realizing it?
That is heavy.
And if so, who are you really when the game is finally over?
Wow. That is going to keep me up tonight rethinking every interaction I've had today. Got an incredible psychological concept to chew on. Thank you so much for exploring this with us.
Thanks for having me.
To everyone listening, keep questioning the narratives around you, keep looking behind the masks people wear, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.